Hey there, my name is Beck and I run Power Creative Media. This little presentation should take about 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm just going to show you how you can take your preferably non-fiction book, but any book really, and any piece of content really, and turn it into a ton of different content, so micro content. So things like quote cards, vertical videos, square videos, audiograms, written posts, all types of things that you can do here with the tools that I'm going to show you. And the best part is that it doesn't take that long. So I'm going to show you a system where your team can do it for you, someone else can do it for you, I can do it for you. My team does this for people all the time. We produce tens of thousands of pieces of content. And so I'm going to show you how that works. So basically taking any book and turning it into hundreds of social media posts. And it's a really simple strategy, so I'm going to show you how that works. But first, a quick intro, and I promise it will be quick. I'm Beck Power. Like I said, I've got a content repurposing agency, so all we do is take people's books and podcasts and things like that and turn them into social media posts. And obviously that makes it a lot easier for you. You send us your book, or you send us your episode or video or whatever, and we chop it all up and send it back to you in pieces that you can then use to post on social media. I have been nomadic for about 10 years. That means I just traveled from country to country on tourist visas for a month or two or three for most of that 10 years. And now I'm based in Portugal, which is great. I love it here. I'm originally from New Zealand, which is why I sound like this. A few random things. I've got a black cat. His name is Finn. I go to the gym. I have an Asian food obsession. And I love quotes, which is why I'm doing all of this stuff. I love book quotes. I love any type of basically personal development book and quotes and extracts and things like that. Which is kind of why I got into this business. So let's talk about repurposing really quick, because you may not be familiar with exactly what it is, how it works, why do you want to do it. It's taking a piece of content, like I said, and making it available to your audience in different ways. And the reason that we'll do that, I guess we'll talk about that soon, is because not everyone learns the same way, and you want to mix up your message and say it in different ways. That's kind of how marketing works, right? So we can chop it up into different clips, we can make it into different sizes, we can put it in different formats so that it can go in different places, which you can post them on different platforms. And it's a great way to save time, because a lot of times people will just post their podcast episode and then they will think the next day, okay, what should I post today? And they try and think of something else. But you can post 1,000 times about a podcast episode in different ways. And so it's exciting because people need to see your content over and over again in different ways in order to purchase from you or work with you. And so we're going to go over this a little bit again. Why repurpose your book? Firstly, you want to make the highlights of the book available. Not everyone's going to read your book. Sorry. Maybe they download it. Most people still won't read it. So you want to make sure that you cannibalize it as much as possible so that people can see what's inside the book just using little clips. The second thing is you want to be an expert. You're already an expert, you wrote a book, great, but it helps you establish these types of posts, regular posts with all your highlights, all the great things that you said, your quotables. These things help you to look more like an expert more regularly. You could do one post saying, I wrote a book, lots of people like it, it's great. Then what do? You want to chop up the book and you want to use it to look like an expert and to keep showing up as an expert in front of your audience. And the third thing is that you already did all the hard work of writing this book. So why would you just post about the book and then try and think of other things to post when the book contains thousands, literally thousands of really great clips, really great quotes, excerpts, posts. You could do tons of different social media posts from your book. So don't try and reinvent the wheel. You already did the hard work. Now, this is a question I get a lot, and so how often should I post? And it's it depends on the person really, but I recommend to, especially with your book, in order to promote your book or whatever your book is promoting, you want to post at least once a day. You want to show up regularly. Whatever that means for you, listen, it doesn't have to be once a day, it's just my rule of thumb. But you want to show up regularly so that your audience can see that you're there. If you never post, what's going to happen? Nothing. So it stands to reason that if you post more people will see what you're posting. And so I wrote out 5 types of content that I think are helpful when you're posting on social media, and the book is just kind of fits in as a part of this strategy. So firstly, we can see here the content types. Baseline content is literally just daily content that goes out regularly. It doesn't take any effort. This is what the book Repurposing does. It sends out a quote every day that is from your book, and it might have a caption, it might not, maybe it's a video, whatever it is, but it gets the information from your book out in little tiny chunks, highlights, golden nuggets, whatever you want to call them. So the baseline content is, I think, really important to show you're an expert and to make sure that you're showing up regularly. So it's not like you have to think every day, oh crap, what am I going to post today? Or you might forget, etc., etc. Baseline content goes out every day. It's simple. It's basic. The next one is backstage content. So these are things like a behind the scenes look at what's going on in your life. So that's things like, here's my office where I wrote my book, or every morning I would wake up and I would sit with a cup of tea just like this one, and I would write for an hour, or whatever the topic of your book is. Maybe you talk more about that, but it really just shows the audience behind the scenes of what you do in general. Now, when I'm talking about repurposing books, the repurposing is really just baseline content. The repurposing isn't necessarily backstage content. It's just stuff that's in the book. So the backstage is showing them behind the scenes. Big time content, again, not repurposed content. It's stuff that shows them you're relevant and popular. Maybe you did a TED talk. Maybe you've got a hot opinion, a hot take on something that a celebrity said. Maybe you were interviewed on a podcast. Anything that makes you look like an expert in your industry. And yeah, the book does do that, but it's a separate type of thing. The next one is bridging content. I made this one up, and what it does, bridging content helps your audience to bridge the gap from where they are now to where they are working with you. And so it's stuff like, because we all follow people online who we follow them, we think they're great, and we've never once considered working with them. And what we want to do is help them to consider working with you by painting pictures. And that's things like case studies, testimonials. People can see that where they were, or where they are now rather, is you've helped people get from where they are now to where they want to be. And so you can help them to do that. And another type of bridging content, I guess, is something like, I used to have a video where I walked people through my sales page. So I helped them to imagine what it would be like to sign up for my program, because that's what it does. The video just showed, here's, if you're interested in this, here's what you do. I walked through the sales page, I showed them how everything worked, and then I clicked on the button and I purchased the thing, and then it said, when you log in, you can see this. And what that does as well is create a little bridge for them that didn't exist before. It helps them their brain has now imagined going through and buying from you, and that's almost like ethical brainwashing a little bit, because you're painting a picture for them that they really get, like, okay, here's what it would be like to work with this person, and here's how I pay, and here's what the inside part looks like when you log in. I mean, that's brilliant. And so bridging content is just stuff like that, stuff that helps them to imagine themselves working with you, either through case studies or through actually walking them through. And then the last type here, which a lot of people, you'd be surprised, a lot of people forget about this, and it seems really obvious, but so many people post all the time on social media, but they don't necessarily ask people to buy their product, or they don't say it's available, or they don't put a buy link or whatever. Whatever you're promoting, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a purchase. You know, it could be join my email list. It could be follow me on TikTok. It could be whatever. Buy my book, download my book for free, or work with me as a coach. Whatever the thing is, you have to make offers. And I don't recommend making them on every post, but these 5 types of content are like really, you know, you need a mix. And first of all, you need baseline content going out all the time just so you've got something. And then you just want to like mix it up and make sure you're saying things in different ways. And the other thing is, you know, these are different types of content, but you can say them as tweets, or you can say them as Facebook Lives, or you could say them as TikToks, or any other LinkedIn posts or articles or blogs or anything that you want to do. You can say it that way. So you just want to make sure that because people learn differently and because people show up on different platforms at different times, that you're mixing things up and you're able to get in front of more people that way. I wanted to touch on this really quick. Technically, it's not a content repurposing thing, but I find that a lot of times if I was to deliver you 1,000 pieces of content, or 100 or 10 or whatever, you may struggle to know what to do with it, and you may struggle to get a lot of traction with it if you don't know what your customer's journey is supposed to be. So for example, a lot of times people don't have any links in their bio. So it may be that you're posting a thing that says download my book, and then there's nowhere for them to actually download it. So keeping stuff like that in mind, it's simple. And I'm just going to run through a couple of points, or 3 points here. It's simple to do. Once you go through and you're clear about it, then you're clear about it. You don't need to keep visiting it, but it's just things to keep in mind. So the first thing is to speak to one audience per post. So if you're trying to speak to everyone and you help everyone, I mean, we've all heard this a million times, but in one social media post, you don't want to put, you don't want to speak to different audiences who have different problems in one post. The more targeted the message is, the more it solves one problem for one type of person, the better. Too many things are confusing. Occasionally I'll do a post where it's like, oh, what can you buy from me? Maybe you just started following me and you're not sure what I do. Here's what I do, and here's the 3 things that I sell. Great, that's fine. But it's not like all the time. Number 2, don't forget to make sure you plan out what you want your customer to do at each stage of their journey. So if they are just hearing about you, or they don't know who you are, maybe there's, like I said, some intro posts. If you're new here, here's what I do. If they've been following you for ages, then you might want to say, listen, you've been following me for, quite some time now. What's stopping you from working with me? Or if your customer already knows the problem, they already know that they want to work with you, maybe they just need a push. So you say, hey, I'm looking for 5 people. This is kind of cheesy, I see these a lot now. But I'm looking for, 5 people to work with one-on-one this month for this result or whatever. So you're giving them an opportunity to do that. And so each of those are different types of content, and each of them speaks to different audiences. And the third thing, which is super important, make sure all your links and branding, like visual branding, are consistent across any platforms you're posting on for your business. So sometimes you can go to someone's Facebook and I'm like, okay, cool, I get their vibe, or like their Instagram or something, and then I go to their LinkedIn and it's a totally different, it's like, it doesn't even mention their business in the bio. It's like really different. The links are different. It's like an old website to a new, it's crazy. And what you want to make sure is that your YouTube banner is the same as your LinkedIn banner, is the same as your Facebook cover photo, is the same as your Twitter profile banner thing. You want to make sure that those all look similar so that people can see when they visit your stuff, okay, this is the same thing, this person is legit. Like, I check that stuff when I work with people, and it's crazy how often people don't do that, and there's no link in their bio, or there's nowhere for them to visit, or it's totally different links for different things, and it's confusing. And if someone is going to work with you, they want you to know that you are good at and consistently do what you say that you're going to do. And if you're showing up in different ways on different platforms, that makes that a little bit difficult. So Let's talk about the actual 10 by 10 repurposing method, which I should have had a slide for that. I do not. The 10 by 10 repurposing method basically means you take your content, your book in this instance, and you create 10 videos, and you make 10 of each of them, or 10 quote cards, or 10 voiceovers, and I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. So level 1, let's just start with level 1, which is quote cards. Basically, you take your book, you extract 100 quotes from your book. Now, it might seem insane, right? Oh, who's going to go through my book and get 100 quotes? First of all, my team will do that. Second of all, your team could do that. Third of all, we have a tool called Goat Quote, which will do that in less than 5 minutes. It can find up to 250 quotes from your book in just a few minutes. And it actually uses AI to write captions for them if you want to do that as well. And then you can just download them and you have them all when it's done in 5 minutes. So, ding, ding, ding. That's the first thing, extract the quotes, because that's really like the golden nuggets from your book. What are the highlights? What are the best things that you've said? What are your quotables? And then you want to go to Canva, which you probably have, and you want to create 10 quote cards in Canva. So you want them all to look different, but still branded the same, visual branding the same or similar. Your logo, maybe you've got your face on there, whatever. And then you want to take each of those 10 quote cards and you want to make 10 of each of them and put those 100 quotes, basically divide them among those 10 quote cards. Now, at the end of this, you've got 100 quote cards and you can post daily for 3 months. Every day on multiple platforms, you could have a post go out with something amazing that you said from your book. And the whole thing, that doesn't take long. Someone could do that it won't take more than a couple of hours. And if you use Goat Quote, then even shorter. So, it does take a bit long if you're going through and taking out quotes manually. But if you use Goat Quote and you use Canva and you put 10 quotes on each card, it's super easy. It's a copy-paste job. Anyone can do it. And then you've got 3 months of daily content ready to go. So pretty cool, right? That's the strategy. It's taking 10 of the quote cards and then distributing your 100 posts amongst them. So that was level 1. So it's like the most basic way to repurpose your book is to make quote cards. Level 2 is a little bit different. So with number 1 here, we're doing the same thing. We extract the quotes. You may already have quote cards because this is level 2. So, you take your quote cards, great. Then you want to record 10 videos of yourself. So I've actually got a list of 10 things, 10 different ways to put a video of yourself just to make them a little bit different. And we do vertical videos, but you could make them square or whatever you want. 10 videos of yourself. You could be pointing at something, you could be laughing for no reason, you could be dancing. Some people hate it, the dancing thing, don't do it. You could just be drinking wine, you're sitting at your computer, you could be sitting outside, looking at a view, whatever. But you want to take like 10 to 20 seconds of each video, and then you've got 10 of those. And now we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did with the quotes. We're just going to do it with videos. So we match the quotes to the videos the same way that we did with the quote cards. And then just the same way, you've got 100 quote cards and 100 quote videos. And you can post them twice daily for 3 months, or you could use the videos for, say, TikTok or Reels, and you could use the quote cards for LinkedIn, or whatever you want. You choose your platforms. But it's a great way, and it's a fairly quick way. Now, considering that here you've only got to record the videos and then mix and match the quotes that you already have, that's pretty cool. Now, there is a number 3 for those of us who are masochists. And that is the same thing we just did. We've got the quotes, we've got the quote cards, and we've got the videos. Now we're going to record, you're going to record yourself reading the quotes, and we're going to record them as audio files. And a pro tip is to record all of them in one go so that whoever is making your audios can just chop them up. So you don't have to chop them up and deal with all of the different files. whoever is doing that can match them to the video. So then what we want to do is, again, we've got, we're actually not doing 10 this time. We're going to record all of the quotes as audios, and then we're going to put the video with the quote on top of it, and then we're going to add the audio file. So all we're doing here is adding the audio file to your existing video. Ding, ding, ding. So that gives us a totally different type of content that we can then use as a different style. So now you've got 300 pieces of content, 100 quote cards, 100 quote videos, and 100 voiceover videos. You can post 3 times daily for 3 months, or you could mix them up and do 1 a day for 9 months, or whatever you want. But that is, I think, the best way to get the most out of your book. So I came up with a few questions, right, for this part of the slide. So is this too simple? If you remember Mel Robbins, she got famous for saying, if you don't want to do something, just count backwards from 5. Remember 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? And she's earned millions of dollars just from saying that. So it's, in my opinion, the message that you give on social media cannot be too simple. You want it to be as simple as possible, and quotes really help that happen. Number 2, this sounds like a lot of work. Not a question. Excuse me. Not a question, but okay. It is a simple framework, and it can take a bit of time, but this is the simplest way that you can create 300 posts from your book. It's fast, especially if you use Goat Quote. It can be, that will make it much, much faster. But these other tools that I've got too that I haven't even talked about make everything faster. It makes the posting faster, makes scheduling faster, makes a lot of the things faster. And I have more tools coming that support this this strategy, the 10 by 10 strategy. So number 3, can't you just do this for me? Absolutely we can. And I've got a couple of options of how you can work with us and how you can use the tools in our arsenal to do that. So how we help, there's a link for you, sleekbio.com/thebeckpower. I've got a couple of ways that we can work together. So firstly, what I've just described, you could take that and run with it and go and do it now. But if you want some tutorials, if you want to know exactly the step-by-step of how everything works, and some templates as well, then we've got the book Repurposing DIY Workshop / course. It is basically a long workshop that I've divided into sections. So basically you've got step-by-step instructions, tutorials for absolutely everything that I've talked about, quote card templates, and like I said, I have a list of types of videos that you could use to record in the background. Those are included with this course. So nice and easy. It's a DIY thing. You can do it on your own time. And if you need help, you can reach out to me anytime. Support is obviously included. So that's the easiest way for you to get started. It's nice and simple. Now, the second thing is you might want to use my tools, and they're amazing. The tools that I make, that my team has made, I can't code to save my life. My team does it. What we've created is a bunch of different things that help authors specifically, but also other people with content to chop up and market their book better and more easily, etc. So we've got Goat Quote, which, like I said, is a tool that goes through your book or PDF, and it will pull out hundreds of quotes and write captions using AI. And the other thing that's in there right now is AMP Video, and what that means is you can jump into TikTok or Reels and download any TikToks or Reels that you've got that you've already posted, and then you can download them with one click, multiple ones with one click, and that will remove the watermark so that you can post it anywhere else. You post it on Reels, YouTube Shorts, etc. nice and easy. And we've got quite a few future tools that I won't go into right now, but it's pretty exciting because in the future you'll be able to do all of these things just using software, which I'm really excited about. So that's AMP Social Tools. It is a one-off payment. It's a lifetime deal right now. So when you join, you get everything that we make in the future under the umbrella of AMP Social Tools. And then the third thing is AMP Books. Now there is a little bit of there are a few variables here. People usually need different things. Maybe you want the videos and the quotes, but you don't want the voiceovers. Maybe you want just quotes, but you also want us to write blog posts / emails for you as well. So it can be a little bit different depending on the person, but most times we do the whole package for between $2,500 and $3,000 depending on what you need. So that's working directly with my team. You send us the book, you send us a couple of videos that we request, and then you're done. Like, we will do the whole thing. So it just really takes it right off your plate and makes sure that you get delivered, 100 to 300 pieces of content, depending on what you need. So that is pretty much it. That's how it works. If you have any questions, please hit me up. You can find me on Facebook. It's the name of the game here is Repurposing, obviously, so I've got everything. I'm on TikTok. I got LinkedIn and Instagram and everything. You could send a carrier pigeon, whatever you need. You'll be able to track me down if you've got questions. But otherwise, just jump in and grab one of these things. You may have questions about AMP Books. Please ask. But if you can find all the links for this stuff at sleekbio.com/thebeckpower. And hopefully I'll see you on the other side. Talk soon.